What's going on? I am live. Well, I'm just sitting here. Hey, what's going on, hippie lion? It's been a minute. Can you hear me? Loud and clear? I want to make sure you can hear me. Okay, cool, cool. So, what's been going on? Well, I guess I'm going to start. Um, I want to talk about the. Alright, nothing much. Okay. Um, I guess it's just. Any thoughts on the Black Friday? To me, the Black Friday, I feel like. To me, I feel like the corporations, I feel like they are gaining a bunch of souls whenever it comes to that. It's basically promoting and connecting with different material things. Individuals are basically connecting with the material world whenever it comes to the Black Friday because that's controlling a lot of individuals' frequency because they get into it, they get into big fights, and they show out. You know, they connect with other different characters and multiple disturbed holograms. And the Black Friday, I feel like it's a big trap to me, but individuals love it. So that's my thoughts on it. Live love freely. Okay, hey, how you doing? I don't know why the screen looking dark, but anyhow, but yeah, I was just telling Hippie Lion about my thoughts about the Black Friday. I just feel like it's trapping a bunch of souls and stuff and keeping the souls distracted while they're doing certain things, certain rituals and stuff. To me, I feel like Black Friday also, to me, it's like a ritual, keep many individuals distracted. And I had to get some headphones to hear you. Okay, can you hear me? Um, Live love freely. Can you hear me? But hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, like the okay. But yeah, so to me, I feel like I said, I feel like to me, I feel like they're doing rituals and doing something else on the other side that's not connected to the physical realm. Whenever it comes to like holograms, I feel like they recycling like holograms. That's what I call holidays. I call holidays or certain things like that. I call it holograms because they're recycling certain holograms, disturbed holograms from other worlds. That's how I feel, and to take over certain souls. Just like individuals do rituals. Like I talked about whenever your loved ones, whenever they leave the physical realm, I feel like whenever to me, I don't like when I wouldn't go visit a grave because I feel like it's pointless. You're basically you're talking to a stone, and like I said, there's a reason why they trap souls into the box because they're trapping souls into the box. And that's the reason why it's the square box and stuff, to trap certain individuals. And I feel like the names, to me, the names basically already dead, and many individuals got a signed name. We're souls, we're sounds and vibrations. So there's no such thing as names and titles, Whenever it comes to animals, they don't call each other by names or signing contracts. Like, we sign contracts and many other things. So when individuals go visit the grave, I just feel like they're giving the names energy, It does seem weird. I don't want to be buried. Exactly, me neither. Like I said, I always wanted to, because you can control your destiny. I rather be in a plane or something and the plane just blow up or something. That's how I always said I wanted to go out, just blow up in the plane and just blow up my whole physical, or, I'd rather be cremated or something, that's just me. I'm not, the insects and stuff not bringing me back. No, the maggots, they're not bringing me back. Forget that stuff. And they're not gonna pull the candy man on me. Sounds painful, but I guess you won't feel it. Exactly, I won't feel it. I won't feel the pain, because my energy basically already shifted, So because we already, like I said, if and I said in my previous videos, if you whenever you go to sleep, you're basically leaving your physical and you merging with your other side. And like right now, the world is parallel. So sometimes you go into another reality and you're picking up on old memories from another system and stuff whenever you shift to certain planes and stuff like that. And I feel like certain individuals block certain things so you can't reach to certain levels and stuff like that. But if you aware and you know what's going on, you can break that, and shift and move on to see other things, So it's like you're merging with that reality, but it's connected to the physical realm, and certain things play out. So you got to learn how to balance both sides. Especially coming to, especially knowing now that the worlds are basically merging together in this, really, it's already here, basically, if you really look at it. It's like you got to really pay attention to whenever you shift, some individuals say dreams, but whenever you shift, you got to pay attention to, how can I put it? You got to pay attention to the other side of you. See what kind of moves the other side of you, see what kind of moves they're making. Like whatever moves they make, you got to just pay attention to that. And, then you can see what's really going on the physical. So, what else? It was something else I was going to talk about. What else was that? There was many things I wanted to talk about, but I'm glad y'all connected with me on this live and stuff. I really appreciate that, really. So, just to put that out there. So how are you? Live love freely. How are you doing? Oh, so when you dream or shift and see yourself in a dream, parallel worlds. Oh yeah, I see, like, whenever you reach certain levels, like my hologram, I seen like basically my hologram in other worlds and stuff like that. So And it was like I was looking at myself, like just like how y'all see me in the devices. I actually seen myself in another parallel world. It was like I was watching myself, and I could see myself in mirrors and stuff like that, and I was like shifting and seeing, experiencing other things and stuff. Is that happening at the same time? Oh yeah, it's happening at the same time. You could, for example, you could like, for example, I'm drinking, some water out of this cup, right? So the other side of me could just be could be pouring water inside of a cup. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like, how can I put it? So, another part of you could be 5 or 10 steps ahead of you. Just to put that out there. So kind of like astral projection. I think that's what it's called. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You can definitely do that too. You can feel. Oh yeah, most definitely. Astral projection. I don't be trying to do it. It happens. Some individuals say, "Oh, I know how to just do it all the time." To me, I feel like I'm kind of iffy about that, because I think you only do it whenever you need to do it. Astral project, and like I said, I did it a lot, but I didn't plan it. I was like, wow, why am I here? I'm like, what am I here for? And then I started seeing like different signs and symbols that's not even connected to this physical realm. I seen like different, like shape-shifting numbers, different like letters, like not the average 1, 2, 3 and the ABCs and stuff like that. I seen something totally different, and I could hear like other music, like that's not even on here, and to me it was nice, and it relaxes your soul. It's totally different. Like here, yes, we listen to certain music and it's got a lot of programming in it, but at the same time, you can balance certain music. Like I listen to everything. I listen to rock. I listen to certain rap. I don't listen to this new mess that's out now, but I listen to certain things that I kind of grew up on and stuff. There's only a few like so-called MCs, rappers, whatever you want to call it. There's only a few that I listen to, and I listen to like individuals like Inspector Deck or Lloyd Banks. I listen to them, but far as like other music, I listen to like Max Frost and Phil Collins and Earth, Wind and Fire. There's different types of like I listen to it all. Like I said, rock, the R&B. I listen to the stuff like from the 80s and 90s, because the R&B, like that's out now. Though to me, I still feel like it's programming, because it depresses individuals, but you got to learn how to balance it at the same time. I listen to foreign language. To me, oh yeah. The non-mainstream people are so much better. Oh, exactly. I totally agree, and I listen to a lot of individuals that's not in the so-called triangle and certain other things. I totally agree that, I listen to a lot of individuals, I guess they call them independent or whatever. Like I said, like Max Frost, he's in Sir Fly or something like that. Like individuals, and they be talking about like, certain things that other artists can't talk about, and And I listen to stuff that I can relate to. I'm like, okay, I can relate to this, because I don't relate to individuals promoting, the liquor and the name brands like Gucci and all of that crap and stuff. To me, that's nothing but spirits and spells to me. That's the way I look at it, Yeah, so I like I said, I'm kind of picky what I listen to, and I can't, like, whenever I hear the other garbage. Oh, what's going on, Shay? Hey, 72, what's going on? Whenever, like, sometimes I listen to satellite radio when I'm driving, and I keep it on, like, the Groove channel, like, and other things. I can't listen to that new stuff. And hey, what's going on? How are you, Shay? But yeah, I can't listen to like that other stuff. That's nah. But and then certain music sends signals like to individuals physical, and make them do certain things. It's like basically their physical is eating the programming and stuff. 80s and 90s music is better to me. Exactly. Oh yeah, I still listen to it. I still listen to it. I listen to like I listen to Jodeci and who else? Who else? Earth, Wind, and Fire, of course. The Commodores, and I listen to like I like Queen, the group Queen. I like them, and this different things and stuff that I listen to. Jimi Hendrix, and like I listen to like I said, I listen to everything like 80s and 90s, 70s, like even certain 60s music from the 60s. But the 2000, I can't. I mean, it's like nothing but different, like programming and promoting and snatching up souls. Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh yeah, by Queen. Oh yeah, that's I played that song so many times, like, and I still listen to it, And if you ever get time, check out that one song by Queen. It's called I think it's called Radio. If Radio or something. Yeah, Radio. Just type in Queen Radio and stuff. I like that. Like, that's a lot of subliminals in that. Like, the whole video and stuff. Lyrics now promote so much love. Oh, exactly. Exactly. I said the same thing. Like, the lyrics promote lust. Like the lust energy, that's on another level. That's back when we had real music. Exactly, Shay. Exactly. And, excuse me. Excuse me. But yeah, whenever it comes to and I was talking about this, and I even mentioned that in the video, the lust energy, that's on another level. Like, that's on another level. And individuals, basically, they're trying to get certain individuals like to do the same sex thing and stuff like that. And like I said, whenever, and I mentioned this like several times in my video, whenever they promote the lust thing, because they want individuals to do the sex rituals and stuff. That's the reason why they created the porn and stuff. And individuals, they get down like the porn, and they'll watch the porn and they do it, just like I was saying, like, they had individuals talking about licking individuals' buttholes, eating groceries and all of that crap back a couple of years ago. And individuals, they're on that. Like, and that's nasty. That's basically sending, that's gross, for one. And they're sending, certain things back inside of their physical body. They're doing sex rituals and stuff, like, and that's on another level. And, yeah, throw Throwback to your love music. Yeah, throwback to your love music, YouTube. Yeah. But oh, what was I saying? My fault. Like whenever it comes to that, they're doing like the sex rituals and stuff. And whenever you hear them talk about the right, and young people think it's normal. Exactly. They think it's normal. They think it's normal, and it's not normal at all. But pardon me, y'all. This water is great, by the way. But they whenever you hear them talk about like they're gonna take the guns and stuff away, and they're not gonna take the guns away. You know, they basically they want, you know, y'all to think that, oh, they're gonna come. They can't come and take all the guns away and all of that stuff. They're talking about the male physical body shutting down, you know, their energy. They call it sperm, but I say energy, you know. So they talking about shutting that down, like, you know, by the chemical warfares and, you know, like controlling that, like on so many different levels. Like they're saying, like, shut that down, like keep promoting the same sex and stuff. And you see a lot of that, like they think that's normal. And whenever you hear individuals, they'll be like, oh, they're trying to, you know, do the gun control and take away the gun and stuff. No, they're not talking about that. They're talking about below the belt. You know, that's exactly what they're talking about. And I peeped that out like some years ago. And because they've been saying that since the 70s about gun control, you know. So I'm like, that to me, I'm like, that's a bunch of mess they're talking. And then whenever you, like, say I watch, you know, wrestling and stuff and different things. And they always, like lately, they've been hitting individuals in the balls, and they throw out subliminals when they do that. Like everything that you see, they're talking in code and throwing out subliminals. It's definitely a war on the male energy. Exactly. And the of course, you know, our shade is the creator of the physical body. So now you basically been watching, like you can watch anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Whenever it comes to, you know, our shade, now you see them with the other shade and stuff like that, and they wasn't doing that. And they're basically talking in codes with that. They basically want our shade to basically breed a dying bloodline. Like, you know, and they want to edit it. They want to edit the DNA also too. And they want, and that's the reason, because certain bloodlines basically dying out, and they need certain bloodlines to keep this illusion alive. So they're keeping a lot of individuals distracted. So, and I know, you know, I noticed that, you know, it's like now, you know, it's like they want to play games with, that's the reason why individuals keep coming saying, oh, that corny whack stuff, queen and king and all of that stuff. Then, you know, individuals call themselves these names and titles, and, you know, like they want to say, you know, use the word goddess and all of that crap, because they're conning the so-called, they call it woman, but, you know, the creator. I like to say the creator of the physical body, and that's our shade. That's, you know, basically y'all, like y'all the creator, like live, love freely, and, you know, whoever create, y'all the creators, you know what I'm saying? So they're individuals in Shay, you know, y'all like the creators. So they're trying to play mind games with y'all and program y'all and trick y'all into doing other things and stuff like that, you know, so they can keep certain bloodlines alive. And because they know the system is already here, but there's another one get ready to merge with it on another level. So the other system, it's like, you know, it's a war within side, but it's like we're in the middle of it. We're connected with it, you know. So it's like we're connected with it, and now we can basically shift and control certain things. Like we can like do that now because a lot of things are lining up. And like I said, the war is within, but we're in the middle of certain things. That's the reason why individuals have, you know, you notice now, because like back then they had celebrities doing, you know, certain symbols and signs and stuff like that with their hands and you know, with, like I said before, with their eyes and all of that stuff. Now they got, like, they call them, I call it them earth, I call y'all earthlings or whatever and stuff like that, because I'm on another plane. I'm on something totally different. I don't claim man or none of that. I'm something more powerful than the man and on earth. I'm on something totally different. But, you know, like I got love and respect. I'm on the physical. It's, you know, we're connected to this earth thing. Like if you reverse it, it's basically heart. We connected to that. But now I notice, and they call, you know, us civilians or whatever, that all of that crap. So now they got, you know, they got everybody doing their rituals now. So you see like these little young kids throwing up, you know, certain signs with their you know, the Masonic symbols and other symbols, not just the Masonic symbols. There's other symbols out there, because everybody that's like, oh, it's about the Masons. There's many groups out there. You know, it's just not the Masons, the Freemasons. There's other groups. Yes, the Masons got a part of certain things, but they're not really running things and controlling things. They want individuals to stay stuck on the government and Masons. There's other groups out there besides that. And there's other groups that's not even connected to that. And these individuals know that, you know. So now they got individuals doing certain rituals and stuff so they can gain power to move forward to other worlds. So it's basically everything is all over the place. They lower level. Exactly. They are pretty much, because they're doing sick rituals and stuff and doing other things and stuff like that. And they're basically disrespecting their souls on many levels. You know, if one of them tell them, for example, if they tell them to eat a bowl of shit, you know, if they pledge to it and, you know, sign oaths and all of that stuff, they basically got to do it, because they pledge to it. If an individual pledge to something, and you know, and if they break it, they basically pay for it. They'll take it out on one of their loved ones, or they'll screw them over in the parallel world. They might be like, all right, you know what? I'll let you slide on the physical, but I own your soul. I can control your soul in other parallel worlds. You know, that's what they're on, certain individuals and stuff. And some of them be on some sick, twisted stuff. You know, they're probably, they could tell, you know, like, for example, what was I going to say? Like, if an individual got a higher position, they could say, hey, I want to sleep with your child, or I want to sleep with your dog, or, you know, they do sick stuff, you know. Let's just all go back to, is it above that? Oh, it's deeper than that. So much confusing, too much. Oh yeah, and that's what's going on right now. Oh, it's all over the place. It's like, and oh yeah, that's what I wanted to tell y'all while I'm thinking about this. What was I going to say? Sometimes you can feel certain things from the other side, and if you get dizzy, if you get like real dizzy, or you feel like you're about to pass out, that to me, I feel like, you know, you're connecting with something else that's so deep, you can actually feel certain things shift and stuff like that. So if sometimes you're going to feel like, oh, I feel dizzy, like, because like I said, sometimes I could go into these buildings, although they got a bunch of Wi-Fi and stuff like that. I could feel certain machines, shifting certain things, and I could feel it. And sometimes it can make me dizzy, or I could walk past an individual with a disturbed energy, and I could feel it, and I'd be like, oh, this individual got disturbed energy and stuff. And then you also feel individuals. You can feel it on many levels. You can feel the confusion. I can feel when an individual, whenever they're in trouble. Really, I've had that while sitting down working, and it freaked me out. Oh yeah, Shay, it will freak you out. Like, oh yeah, like, but when you get used to it, like, to me it's like normal. Like sometimes, like, and then it makes your heart race, because these individuals connected certain things to our physical bodies, like our heart and our fingers and stuff, and it's like you got to learn how to balance certain things, because that's the reason why I said whenever we use these devices, and I talked about this already, you notice they always give the likes and the hearts and stuff like that, and then especially whenever it comes to paranormal movies, like they always tell the individual to stab, like, I guess, the Dracula in the heart and stuff like that. Individuals are talking in codes, and it's like we got like brains inside of our body, not just in the top of the head and stuff like that. Like the top of our head, that's like basically the gold mine to me, like on many levels. But individuals, they think, how can I put it? They think it's just one, but it's not. So, we got like we got multiple brains on many levels. We just like to learn how to connect it and know how to work our physical and control it on many levels. But yeah, but like like I said, there's a lot of things going on and stuff, and it's a bunch of confusion. So it's like, basically what I do, I ignore certain things. I'll be like, okay, that's a distraction. I'm not going to pay no attention to that. And then, then you have individuals, they will try you, and they can be a different bloodline, like that's not even connected on a physical, they can be in a physical form, just because, like I said, just because they look like us, that doesn't mean that they are us. And individuals will try you and stuff. And sometimes you have to just basically, destroy certain individuals' disturbed soul. Sometimes you just got to basically, basically tell them off and check them on many, but it's a certain level you can do that. You have to stand up to certain things, because they don't know that some individuals don't know that they got disturbed characters in them and stuff, and you can pull out certain characters out of certain individuals and stuff like that. You got to learn how to do that. I would tell y'all, but so, like, it might not work for y'all. Do y'all feel me? There are certain things I'll be like, oh, I could tell y'all this, but, I don't want to, I wouldn't want it to backfire on y'all. There are certain things I know how to shift. You can, like, if you get into it with an individual, learn how to shift that energy back to them. Don't let that energy latch on to you. Shift that right back to them. Sometimes you can't feed into an individual and stuff. And then sometimes you can see how far, and basically see how you can, how far you can bring out certain things and shift it, because sometimes you could actually help an individual by pulling out certain characters out of them and stuff. ignore them and walk away. Yeah, sometimes you can ignore individuals and walk away, but then you have certain individuals that, you know, what if you talk to them like on the phone or something? You can hang up or stuff, but then you have, if you talking to somebody in the physical and you ignore them, some of them will try you and keep trying you and stuff and keep on pushing you. So sometimes you have to, like, you know, use their stuff against them. Whatever they try to throw at you, use that against them. You know, just like, you know, basically, how could I put it? What was I going to say? Use their strength against them. You know, make them mess their self up. Any thoughts on crystals with protection from these type of energy? Oh yeah, I remember talking about that a few years ago, and you basically have to feel that connection with that crystal, because certain crystals, they're not going to really do anything. But if you got a certain crystal and your physical can feel that crystal, then, you know, connect with that crystal and carry it, you know, with you and stuff like that and stuff, you know. And I feel like we got a lot of crystals inside of us, crystal and gold, you know, like inside and stuff like that. That's the reason why I feel like certain individuals, you know, and that goes back to the video, Cinnamon Crush. What's going on, Cinnamon Crush? That's worth learning. Oh yeah. Like, that goes back to where I said, because like certain gold and certain diamonds and stuff, like, to me, I feel like that's from the bones, from the physical body, because that goes back to where I was talking about the buildings, the brick buildings and cement and all of that stuff. I feel like it basically, that got our DNA into it. You know, our DNA, our DNA basically, that's everywhere. You know, if you really look at it, it's everywhere in this illusion. They use that, you know, use our DNA against us. So now we gotta, like, connect with our DNA and, you know, shift out of certain worlds. You know, because there's many illusions inside of this little itty bitty little world. There's many illusions in this world. But yeah, like, so, like, back to the crystals and stuff like that, if you connect with it, then, you know, that's cool. You know, like, you connect with it. But if you like not feeling certain things, if you got like a crystal or something, if you be like, for some reason I'm just not feeling that energy and stuff like that, then, you know, it's best to let that go. You know, just let it go. But if you feel that connection, then, you know, keep it. Shifting their energy back to them seems like something I seen in a movie. Oh yeah, in the movies, they give a lot of subliminals in that. But see what, you know, what's messed up? They're not telling individuals how to do it. It's like you got to basically decode certain things and stuff, and then you got to be careful at the same time. You know, like, for example, you know, individuals, they're programmed to, like, and this in every horror movie, they're programmed, and you have the corny whack preachers, you know, they'll they basically you know, they'll bring the books of spells, that's what I call it, the Bible, and they'll be like, oh, in Jesus' name and all of this and that, and that's a bunch of crap, because individuals, whenever they shift certain things, they know certain words to use, and they don't use this so-called language, the so-called language, because we're connected to nothing but the corporation. Our names, that they signed the names to us, that's nothing but a corporation. Any more movies you recommend? Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. But oh, what was I saying? I forgot. But Whenever it comes to me, I'll fill y'all in. But oh yeah, like yeah, the movies, for example, like the individuals speak another language. That's the reason why you see the so-called Pope or the Catholic individuals. They're speaking Latin. You know, whenever you hear these corporation preachers, because they're nothing but corporations. It's messed up. Y'all not, on whenever it comes to your soul and energy, when you destroy certain things, you don't have to be connected to it. But certain individuals claim these corporations. Our souls are right next to it. You know, whenever we shift, it's like we're next to it. Our DNA is still right next to it. But whenever you shift from destroy like the names and titles and the fake copy, the fake version of you, then, you can move to many levels. But the preachers, they're basically, whenever they so-called speak in tongues, most of them are speaking Latin. And certain individuals speak Gaelic and stuff. And so whenever they do that, they have these members. So, and it's funny because you see, and I see this stuff on TV and stuff. And then, like when I was young, I had to go to like I didn't want to go because when I was young, I always thought that like a couple of how certain relatives want you to go to a church, and I always thought that shit was weird to me. I was like, this stuff is weird. Like if you go out of town, they'd be like, oh come on, this is when I was young and stuff, and I was like, I wasn't paying attention to what the preachers in them were saying. I was like looking at girls' asses in the church. I was young. I was like, damn, she got a fat ass, and was like looking at, when I was young, I wasn't studying about them. I was trying to holler at some female in the church, but anyhow, they have individuals speaking in tongues and stuff like that, and they make up their own language. They're not speaking what the so-called preacher, the Muppets. They're not, they're all Muppets, but some of them speaking Latin, or some of them speak Gaelic, or different types of other language. Do you think there is some truth to the Bible and other religion books? To me, I just feel like they're talking into codes, and it's to me, I feel like it's nothing but a program. I feel like you basically, you gotta walk, you gotta control your destiny. You can't like really worry about, what's in the books. Because if you really look at it, animals, they're not really worried about what's in the book. That's the reason why I don't research anything and stuff. If I look at something, it'll be like something about like, I used to research herbs and stuff, but when you reach certain levels, you don't even have to use herbs anymore when you reach certain levels and stuff. But, like I get everything from within, that's what I do. I don't mess with that Google, because I already said years ago, Google was nothing but a bunch of programs and stuff like that. So, I feel like the book, that's somebody else's experience, and it's nothing but a bunch of programs whenever it comes to the Bible. It's like a program on another level. These individuals, got what the character's name, and the Masons and other groups created that book, just so they can communicate and stuff. So now we're in a digital world, because back in the 80s and 90s, everybody went to the library and was getting programmed by books. So, oh my gosh, yes, I was forced to go to church and classes. I hated classes. I'm so glad I wasn't brought up in religion. Oh yeah, you got it made, Shay. And love freely. Exactly. I hated school, because school to me was basically I felt like school was just nothing but a bunch of programs. Like it was like the same old stuff. Like I used to say to myself, "What English?" And like math is on another level. They want us to be on a certain math, and it's like you got to figure that out. And we was taking quizzes on a bunch of lies. It was like they was programming us with lies. If you really look at it, they was these individuals that was connected to the system. And I said this before. There's a reason why they got the bells and stuff. That's the reason why you see bells on the YouTube, like when the notification bell. And the bell, I feel like that sends signals and hypnotize individuals and stuff, hypnotize that program inside their physical so they can carry that other program into, other worlds and stuff that they're programmed with, because every so-called period, you would hear the bell ring, and I felt like, I'm like, what is the point? Even like in, boxing matches or wrestling, you hear that bell. It's always that bell that's connected to the physical body, and that shakes up souls, and sometimes it can hypnotize souls and put them into that programming. Now, if you break them programmings, you can shift from many things. I always felt I learned stuff in school that doesn't benefit us. Exactly, it didn't benefit us. Like they don't teach farming and things that could help. Exactly. I know. And that's funny that you said that, Shay, because I was talking about that, right? Nothing that's useful in life. Exactly. It's like you got to survive basically and just, connect with, certain individuals and stuff. But I feel you like whenever it comes to school, I'm like, okay, how come, it's messed up that that our so-called Earth parents, some of them force individuals like, oh, if you get a bad grade, I'm gonna beat your ass and stuff like that, and like I said, I told my daughter, she's a teenager and stuff. She's like 16. I told her. Do the best she can. I put my daughter on when she was young. I told her what was really going on. I said, do the best you can. It's nothing. It's all a bunch of crap. I was like, so it's whatever. I was like, I said, because individuals, see, they program individuals. If you want to work at big places or these corporations and stuff like that, you got to know how to work your energy. You got to know how to talk to individuals. You don't have to have a diploma or a college degree. If you know how to work your energy and stuff, you can do anything. You can be like, you can do anything. You can connect to these damn programs because it's nothing but programs to program other souls. But if you know what's going on, you got to survive in this, if you don't get, just do something that you want to do, that you feel comfortable with. Don't just settle for anything, and certain individuals settle for anything. And school taught us that we came from apes. And then I had to go to church, and they taught us that we came from Adam and Eve. And they talking about protons and neutrons and atoms and different things like that. That's what they was really talking about. That like Adam, the way they spelled that was like this codes and stuff like that. Whenever they said that, and the first thing that I was thinking about whenever they said Eve came from a man's rib, I started laughing at that. Because I was like, oh, these individuals basically talking about cloning, and that's, and I was like, I seen through all of that, so that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, oh, they talking about cloning, because I was like, how can a woman come from a man's rib? That just, a lot of stuff just didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense to me. So I'm like, I'm like, nah, that's a bunch of crap. And just like I was saying about, who was it? I get these characters, I get them mixed up. Like, I want to say Noah, but the individual that was on a boat or something with a bunch of animals, Now, them animals pretty much would have, he would have, he wouldn't have been on that boat. They would have been eating on his ass, you know. And, you know, and whenever they was talking about, who was it? It was one of them characters that part the sea and stuff. I know what they was talking about when they was talking about the sea, you know, and that's in between the creation's legs. And I'm gonna let y'all think on that. Y'all, some of y'all probably like feel me on that. You know, that's left. Yeah, that was Noah. Oh, okay. But yeah, you know, they was talking about parting the sea and putting something in that. You know, no, that makes sense to me. But then they program you to believe whatever they say. Exactly. And a lot of people till this day, it connects with so many generations and stuff. And like, they think, you know, individuals, even relatives and stuff, like we're on something totally different and stuff. We're, you know, and they think we're crazy. They think something is wrong with us because we don't connect to that normal stuff, that programming stuff. They think we're crazy. You know, that, you know, if I talk about what I like, and I don't change nothing. I don't give a damn what individuals say. And like, you know, what's annoying, not to change the subject, but what's annoying to me when they talk about the holograms, holidays, the rituals and stuff, individuals want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving. And I don't say nothing back. I usually don't say nothing back. Or, you know, if a relative say it or something like that, you know, I'm like, y'all know I don't celebrate that stuff. And then some could be annoying. And I say right back at you. Because I know it's like, to me, it's nothing but a spell of the ritual. I say, hey, right back at you. And they'd be like, oh, Happy New Year's, right back at you. I always question people in the Bible and was told I was heathen. I remember like that word heathen. I remember my grandmother used to use that word heathen. Heathen, what was it? So what was the question? Yeah, and basically you were supposed to question the laws of the government and stuff, and I always thought that was a bunch of crap and stuff. Like I was like, come on, like it was just funny to me. Like, yeah, if people actually thought they would see, it doesn't add up. Exactly, and I don't. It's in that, and some of them are in a trance, you know, and because they keep allowing to connect to certain things. Like I said, the devices, the bells, and we're in a digital world now. So, you know, that goes back to where I say certain individuals get hypnotized because they're programming themselves with the book. You know, how is the book helping individual souls? You know, like you got to really look at it. How is it helping it? You hear it's all programs. It's this language that's nothing but programs and stuff, and they reading on other individuals' experience, like The Walking Dead. Exactly. Exactly. Live, love freely. Exactly. It's like, you know, they're connected to the dead names and titles. Like that's the illusion, the names and stuff. To me, they're dead. There's no such thing as names and titles. They're connecting to that, and they're programming themselves. So if they and that's the reason why, if you really look at it, the illusion skull, the school, they have them children that sit in there, and it changed over the years. It's like, you know, I'll get to that in a second, but they had us sitting there for 8 damn hours. It seemed like 8 hours just sitting and just programming us with these damn books. You know, and when I was in class, I wasn't paying attention. I would be in class, I would be like drawing and stuff, and, you know, flirting with the honeys and stuff like that. You know, because I pretty much already knew that it was a bunch of mess and stuff. And, you know, like, it's like we sit there for 8 hours for what? It's boring. They're not teaching well, like, first of all, we supposed to teach our loved ones, because that programming school, they're not doing anything. And I feel like this, like they won't allow individuals, like, they wouldn't allow individuals like me into the school, because they would be like, their children would, their souls will be enhanced. They wouldn't be programmed. See, they wouldn't allow it like me in their system. They want individuals to program them with the books and stuff like that. And, teaching lies and what they do. Oh, yeah, like, of course, Shay, they, like, I said that so many times, like the history, like the slave stories that, that goes back to the slave stories. I think the slave stories, that's a bunch of mess. They were talking about enslaving souls. They ain't have nothing to do with the shade colors and all of that stuff. Where's the proof? Of course, we've seen stupid pictures, but, it could have been Photoshopped back then. They had machines back then, so the technology that we're using now, it's old. It's been played out, but a lot of individuals think that's old. So the slave stories to me was a bunch of mess, and they want to program individuals saying that they're slaves, and, like especially our shade, and, to start that war between us and stuff. Like I said, if you ask, and I said this before, we never heard, we just heard our great-grandmother, our grandmothers that said they heard of the stories, They said they heard of the stories, but they never said, oh, well, my great-great-great-great-grandmother, she was a slave. You ain't never hear that stuff, because it wasn't, to me, that was a bunch of crap. I just felt like our physical body connected and got tricked with certain extraterrestrials and other bloodlines and stuff. Like the whole time, I feel like of course, our shade been controlling a lot of stuff. And I said this before, and they use the other shade, to act like they're controlling things, and they're not controlling shit. And individuals think like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and stuff. Oh, they got money. Those are nothing but actors. They're nothing but actors. They do their rituals. They get down with the programming and stuff. They're not running nothing. And I feel like our shade connected with certain things, and they're in control, and individuals, because like that goes back in the day. Everybody thought, they'd be like, oh, they want to like program individuals on a low vibration. They was like, oh, for example, back in the 60s or 50s or whatever, the so-called black and white movies, they would have, they would say, oh, well, he was a butler or something like that. For that butler could have been like, and I'm just using this for example, because I'm just using this for example. That butler probably had power and wanted to throw individuals off, and thinking, like he didn't want individuals to know who he was. So he would put the other shade and act like, say, hey, I'm going to let y'all act like y'all running this and that. But y'all know who's really running stuff. And, I remember doing a video on that, like, some years ago talking about that. Like, our shade is in control. Like, but our shade is messed up, because I feel like they keep on, there's a reason, because it's like, some of our shade connected with different bloodlines, and certain bloodlines are edited, and they use other things, and they created this system. And so like now, individuals didn't want like our shade that's out in this physical. They basically know what kind of power. That's the reason why the shots and stuff and all of that stuff is going on, so they can like slow down the powers and stuff like that. So, that's the reason why they use our DNA and, merge our DNA with their DNA to create this illusion and stuff like that. Like just because, like I said, just because we're the same shade doesn't mean we're the same bloodline. 24 minutes remaining. If this ends, y'all, because it's not me, it's Instagram. I'll jump back on here. I'll jump because it's now saying it's counting down. I didn't realize I was on here for a while, and I enjoyed talking to y'all. So if it shut down, I'll get right back on it. I'll get back to it. It's like counting down now.